It hasn't always been like this. When we first met, we did everything, that we were supposed to do. We went to university, got our good grades, got a corporate job, working our way up to promotions, advancing our careers, buying apartments, all this stuff that you were supposed to do. But we always felt that was something missing. Since we were younger, since we met, we had this combined vision together that we didn't want a normal life. We always wanted something more, and we were always excited about, what was out there in the world. And this vision stuck with us, even as we started to work, build out our networks. We always felt that we someday wanted to make that move and take that transition out of our home country. And I think this is extremely vital in all relationships in general, but you can have a lot of differences, you can be in different places in life, but as long as you have that common vision of what you really want to do together, it might not be super clear, but as long as you see it, they will always present the path. And we stuck by it, and we had this vision always that we wanted to have an international life, we wanted to be free from the corporate life, but also free in the sense that we can move around as we want. And then in 2018, we got this opportunity that presented itself to move to Ireland to join the tech community and the international finance industry there in Dublin. I've never been to Dublin before. Heard good things, obviously. We took the leap of faith and jumped on the opportunity. And all of a sudden, we were situated in a small apartment in Dublin, leaving everything we had built up in Sweden behind. And it was not easy. What this gave us was something unique in the market. Because a lot of people, they want to change, they want to see it change, but they very seldom dare to take a risk. What we learned is trying to be open-minded about things that you don't know, maybe paths that you don't know. And when they present themselves to you, dare to take that leap of faith and seize that opportunity and see what it can give you. And that's what we did in Ireland. Took that opportunity. It was actually maybe not a step up in a career, but maybe more sideways. But what we learned there is taking that risk puts you in a unique position that a lot of other people, a lot of the other workforce in Sweden didn't do, which all of a sudden made us have this international community, got experience from international companies, and got more and more of a niche competence, niche skill set that is very difficult to get on the market. You need to have taken that step to get that experience. And of course, this comes with sacrifices, and we have sacrificed a lot. We had a comfortable living, we had everything planned, and we sacrificed, not being close to family. We sacrificed uncertainty of knowing, exactly, the uncertainty in general of the job security. Like you can get fired quicker outside Sweden than in Sweden. Same thing as I tell my team every day. If it was easy, then everyone would do it. It's that struggle that separates people and that separates you from living a normal life. So all these sacrifices, even though it was really, really tough and many times, all the years we stayed there, we still had that mindset that we need to trust the process we're doing, we need to trust ourselves that we're on the right path, and opportunities will present themselves to us further ahead. And what was also very special was that all of a sudden we came from a small community of great people, great friends, everyone we knew in Sweden, family, to a new community where all of a sudden we were not the minority anymore. There were so many like-minded people that wanted to do the same thing as us, that wanted to have financial freedom, that wanted to see more of the world, experience more of the world, or be open-minded, learn more about the world. So this gave us even more and forced us even more to keep on pushing ourselves. And we found other people that helped us push ourselves toward that goal. And the skill set that we acquired as well is something completely different. The skill set of being adaptable to other cultures, being adaptable to other workplaces, but also niche competences, as for instance, Irish tax knowledge or international sales knowledge, American corporate international sales knowledge. These things made our profile stick out more and more. And what we also learned was you need to build your personal brand. The days are gone where people are loyal and trusting to the big companies and you're going to stay and work for that company your whole life. Today you need to think about yourself, and we see it a lot in especially the people I'm recruiting today, the younger generation, that the loyalty and the trust for companies is not longer there, especially in the tech community. How do you push that? How do you adapt to that? So what we learned is you need to build your own brand. You need to build up yourself internally in the company, but also externally, because I do believe in the future that there's going to be less and less companies, more and more gig economy, more and more freelancers. So we started doing that process while we were working the corporate life in Ireland, slowly but surely, building out our own brand. And what I learned as well was the importance of actually being vocal. So I learned this from the Americans working with them, that you need to be vocal about what you want. You need to be clear on, this is my vision, this is what I want to do in my career, and you set those expectations with whoever your manager is. And this helped me a lot in my career, but also a lot in taking ownership of my own life and our own life, manifesting that this is what I want to do, and this is my next step towards that goal. And then to really break it down, I mean, we are not God's gift to humanity. We don't pretend that we are a lot smarter than other people, or, you know, have a much bigger skill set than other people. When it all comes down to it, and this is a fact that a lot of people find hard to take, but it all comes down also to working extremely hard. Trusting that process, trusting that life is not fair, and you need to every day try to build up a little bit of effort closer to what your goal is. And this effort compounds over years, over days, the compounding effect. And all of a sudden, standing there on your profile and the skill set you have and the network you have stands out, because you push yourself a little bit more every day and you try a little bit more harder, and you can only control what you can control yourself, right? You can only control what's within your own sphere. You can't control other people. What I want to say about that, by trusting this process, by having our common vision and building all of the time, becoming a little bit better, being more open-minded to how can we now take the next step from Ireland out into the world. What that led us to was building out our LinkedIn network, especially our professional network, to see, okay, what is out there? And after COVID, we saw that, okay, remote work should be able to work. So a lot of companies started popping off that, you know, gave this possibility to have this vision of remote work. And this was the way. The networking, building out our brand, making our profiles more unique, got us the opportunity to find roles where we can be contractors today and have total freedom of how we plan our time, total freedom of how we invoice, where we spend our time. As long as we're in the same time zone as our clients, we are fine, right? But this would not have been possible if I take that first step from where we were in our career back in Sweden to jump into this. We had to take that step in between to go to Ireland to be able to get this nomad lifestyle that we have today. We don't take it for granted. We really don't. And many days we forget about it because we're so busy with always looking forward, like, okay, how can we now diversify our income streams? You know, how can we start investing in property? What can we do online to give us even more freedom to reach the goals that we want to have? This has always been with us all the time, and I think that has been what has pushed us to go further than we ever thought possible. Now we are all of a sudden in our 30s and living in a suitcase, but we would not want to have it any other way. Hopefully this inspires you as well to chase that dream, because if you really want it, it's out there.